Hey guys, this is Jsnow with a Magic news video. So I don't actually do much of these at all, but this was definitely worthy of some major news because this is absolutely insane. That maybe one of the best things Wizards have done in a long time, especially for Standard at least. So you're gonna get these things called Challenger decks. So what is a Challenger deck? If you just want to look at the description below, I have the link below, and you don't want to hear me talk, feel free to click the link. But anyway, I'll just go over it quickly. Or not that quickly, medium speed. So, you get these 4 individual decks, have 75 cards each, so they have the main deck and the sideboard, and the release date's April 6th, and it's going to have an MSRP of $29.99, which only applies to the United States, of course. These decks will be available worldwide in English, with Japanese available in Japan. So, these decks hopefully will even go lower in price. Usually, people try to compete with the decks or stores, so you might be able to get these for like 25. I think you could probably get them for 25. Not the first week of release, but definitely down the line. So let's go into the decks. So what was the problem with Standard? The biggest problem, in my opinion, with Standard was obviously the price point. I think a lot of people will agree with this. The price point was just astronomical, and it took a lot to get a good Standard deck. And then what happens is the Standard deck rotates out, and you're stuck with a $200 deck that all of a sudden becomes a $30 deck. So that's why a lot of people don't play Standard, at least in my area. That was definitely one of the reasons it's hard to fire up Standard, because it's just like, oh, everybody has the best deck and you're getting your butt kicked, or this deck is too strong, or this deck costs $200 and I'm not really sure if I want to invest in it. For me, I know I made a lot of crappy trades going into Standard because I had a Modern deck. I only played Modern, and trying to get into Standard was a huge pain because everything was super expensive. So I traded off Modern staples for Standard staples, and then at the end of the day, even though I got a few Friday Night Magics in, I felt a little bit bad because I noticed that, hey, these Standard cards are going to rotate. They're not really worth that much. I probably should have kept my Modern cards. But of course, I wanted to play at my local game store, so I didn't really have much of a choice other than buying them on like TCG Player. So let's go into the challenge decks themselves and stop talking about that. So the Hazoret Aggro deck, this is probably one of the biggest value right now, is because it comes with a copy of Chandra, Torch of Defiance, which is a $30 plus card by itself. Obviously, it's going to take a huge dip right now, but it's an awesome card. It's used sometimes in Modern, and of course, it's definitely a powerhouse in Standard. That alone pays for the deck right now. Now, if you just got 1 Torch of Defiance for $30, then you're good to go. And basically, you got 23 creatures for free, 12 instants for free, and 24 lands for free, as well as the sideboard. This deck, of course, also comes with a Hazoret the Feverent. Somebody said it was 27. I don't think it was 27. I don't know the price on it. I know last time I checked it was like $18. Whatever, it doesn't matter the dollar point. It was still an expensive card. 3 Soul Scour Mage, 4 Bormak Courier, 3 Skyship Raiders, 3 Harsh Mentors, 1 Glory Bringer, which is like a $4, $5 card. Fanatical Firebrand, 4 Ash Crop and Crop Crasher, and then a whole bunch of Lightning Bolt type of stuff. And then, unfortunately, disappointingly, is the land base. The land base, nothing special. I mean, I guess they couldn't really do anything because Ran Up Ruins is banned. So I guess they didn't want to add Ran Up Ruins because that wouldn't make much sense considering it's banned. So instead, we just get 4 Sunscorched Deserts and 20 Mountains. And then the sideboard really isn't impressive. You can just look at it on the website. I mean, Chandra's Defeat, Key to the City, Magma Spray, nothing really all that great. But anyway, it pays for itself, and if you want a very good aggro deck that could win you a Friday Night Magic, this $30 set can do it by itself. And of course, you can just upgrade it by adding maybe 1 or 2 more Hazorets, and maybe a couple more Glory Bringers, and stuff like that. I used to play Ran Up Red back in Standard. I don't remember the exact cards were played at the moment, but this is definitely the shell. This is the shell if you want to start playing your aggro deck. And for $30, it is insane value. Next deck is Mardu Vehicles. So it's called Vehicle Rush. This one I think has the lowest value out of all of them. No, actually no, it does not, because I forgot about the lands. So this one comes with 4 Bormak Courier, 4 Toolcraft Exemplar, 4 Scrap Heaps, which is definitely a good card. It was $2 or $3, so you get a whole playset. Pia Nalar, the Pala, excuse me if I say these names wrong, the Pala Pilot Exemplar, 4 Vehicle Motorist, 4 Unlicensed Disintegration, 4 Lightning Strike, most importantly, 4 Heart of Quran. So this was definitely not a super expensive card, but to get 4 of them in one deck and one little deck for 30 bucks is definitely worth it. And of course, this card is a powerhouse in Standard. I mean, I don't know how good it's doing in Standard right now because I haven't been following Standard. But now that you think of it, more people might be playing Standard because it's a lot cheaper. So maybe people would follow more Standard instead of Modern. Of course, Modern, in my opinion, is probably still the king format, at least one of the most popular formats. But this is definitely interesting if you want to get back into Standard. So definitely 4 Heart of Quran, it's awesome. The rest of the cards, nothing notable, but then we go to the lands, you get 4 Spire of Industries, which I'm not sure how much that is, but somebody said it was decently expensive. So getting 4 of them is pretty awesome. A Dragon Skull Summit, of course, that can be used for any of the standard decks right now, even when it rotates. Inspiring Vantage, which is awesome, was like a $4 or $5 card. You get 1 of those. Concealed Courtyard, same thing, $4 or $5 land, which is all, both of these lands are also used in Modern, so that's cool. Some Aether Hubs, 3 Unclaimed Territory. So I find this a little bit weird, because it does add value, because Unclaimed Territory for some reason became a $5 card at one point. I mean, now it's probably going to drop back to what it was, which was like $2.50. And you get 3 of those, which is great, and you'll be naming dwarves. Or humans, but mostly dwarves, which is really weird, but I guess it works out, apparently. Or at least that's what they run. 2 Evolving Wilds, some plains, some swamps, all that good stuff. Aether Spear Harvester, Crook of Combination, Chandra Defeat, a Cast Out. You know, basically your typical sideboard. The sideboards in these decks are a little bit weak, so definitely upgradable. That's for sure. Next one, I hate this deck. Second Sun Control, because you know if you're screwed by the Second Sun, like, probably by turn 5, unless you're playing a good aggro deck. But for somebody who wants a good control deck in Standard right now, immediately, for $30, this is amazing. So, Kefnet the Mindful you get 3 Approach the Second Suns, 3 Fumigates. Fumigates was like a $5 card, now you get 3 of them. 1 Settle the Wreckage, this was like a $4 or $5 card too, you get 1 of those. You get Ops, you get Censors, you get Supreme Wills, Renewed Faith, and a whole bunch of other good cards. Another notable card where it was, Irrigated Farmland, that was like a $4 or $5 card. Now it'll definitely be a lot cheaper because you get a whole playset. And Field of Ruin, if you haven't been keeping up with this card spiked to like $5. A new uncommon land has spiked to $5 plus. So now it will definitely drop a little bit, maybe not that much, but be able to get 2 of those is awesome. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't add Field of Ruin to every single deck, at least in the sideboard, because it would definitely help taking out those special lands. But I guess they only added it to this one because it's a control deck. In the sideboard, you also get notable value. You get 4 Regal Caracal, which was like a, if I remember purchasing it, it was around $3, so you get a whole playset, so that's pretty awesome. So you do get your value here, but for the most part, I think this is the one with the least amount of value, I think. Out of all of them, I might be wrong actually. You know what? No, I think the blue one and out of that, the last one, Counter Surge, are about the same in value. So Counter Surge, this deck is pretty interesting and it seems pretty fun to play. You get 4 Winding Constrictors, 4 Glint Sleeve Siphoners, which definitely had a increase in price. Not a huge increase, but you get a whole playset, so that card is of course going to drop. 2 Scavengers, Walking Ballista, $10 card, a staple, not a staple, but a very good card in Tron decks and Modern. You get 1 of those, so that's awesome. You get some Renegades, some Dream Stealers, Lord Luxury, 3 Gear Hulks, Vendorous Gear Hulks. That was definitely a $5 to $6 card, so you get 3 of those. This card's going to drop in price ridiculously. 4 Long Tusk Cubs, which is good for the deck. 2 Walk the Planks. 2 Hour of Glory, 4 Blossoming Defenses, which is a $2 card, so it's awesome to get a whole playset of those. And you get 1 single Fatal Push, which is great. I mean, better than no Fatal Pushes, but I think this is awesome that Wizards is willing to reprint cards like this so quickly. Especially one that was an uncommon that went to astronomical prices for some reason. I mean, not for some reason, we all know the reason. Fatal Push went up, but it was definitely expensive, and now we're wondering, speculating right here, maybe in the Master Set 25 Anniversary set, maybe we'll get a reprint of Fatal Push. Who knows? Crossing the fingers, but it'll definitely be pretty awesome to be able to get more of these out there, considering it's a staple for Standard, Modern, basically anything you can think of, it's a staple. You also get a couple of lands. Now, they missed the mark on the lands because there is a green-black fast land, and for some reason they didn't put it in here. So yeah, they didn't put the green-black fast land, so that's a little bit disappointing with this deck. As far as the sideboard, this sideboard there's no value in the sideboard at all. It's just basically draft chaff. So of course, you know, if you want to upgrade the deck, you can definitely take a look at the sideboard and definitely make some key changes to that. So overall, these are some awesome. The idea is awesome. The price point is good. The decks are great for getting into standard. And I think this is definitely going to bring not a lot of players, because people are still hesitant about standard, but it'll definitely bring back standard players. And if they keep making these, I mean, it's going to piss off the finance people, of course. You know, they're like, oh my god, my what do you call it, my deck's being reprinted. It's going to piss off the finance people, but for the most part, for anybody, because you know it's a game. You know, if you want to play the game, you want it to be cheap, because you want to be able to play, this is the product to do it on. So thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe, for I'm going to be doing mostly Magic Arena, hopefully when it comes out soon. The NDA for Magic Arena is supposed to be lifted sometime in March. Otherwise, I don't do too much Magic the Gathering content now. But of course, in March, once that NDA lifts, I'm going to love playing some Magic Arena. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.